Shakti Buddhir Vijnana Shakti
Tejasani, produced from egoism in the mode of passion. Indriyani, the senses. Eva, certainly. Kriya, action. Jnana, knowledge. Vibhagasaha, according to pranasya of the vital energy. He, indeed, Kriya Sakti, the senses of action. Buddhi, of the intelligence. Vijnana Saktita, the senses for acquiring knowledge. Translation. Egoism in the mode of passion produces two kinds of senses. The senses for acquiring knowledge and the senses of action. The senses of action depend on vital energy, and the senses for acquiring knowledge depend on intelligence. It has been explained in the previous verses that mind is the product of ego in goodness, and that the function of the mind is acceptance and rejection according to the desire. But here, intelligence is said to be the product of ego in passion. This is the distinction between mind and intelligence. Mind is a product of egoism and goodness, and intelligence is a product of egoism and passion. The desire to accept something and reject something is a very important factor of mind. Since mind is a product of mode of goodness, if it is fixed upon the Lord of mind, Aniruddha, then mind can be changed to Krishna consciousness. It is stated by Narottam Das Thakur that we always have desires. Desires cannot be stopped. But if we transfer our desires to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the perfection of life. As soon as the desire is transferred to lording it over material nature, it becomes contaminated by matter. Desire has to be purified. In the beginning, this purification process has to be carried out by the order of the spiritual master. Since the spiritual master knows how the disciples' desires can be transformed into Krishna consciousness. As far as intelligence is concerned, it is clearly stated here that it is a product of egoism and passion. By practice, one comes to the point of mode of goodness. And by surrendering or fixing the mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes a very great personality or Mahatma. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said, Samhatma Sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. In this verse, it is clear that both kinds of senses, the senses for acquiring knowledge and the senses for action, are products of egoism in the mode of passion. And because the sense organs for activity and for acquiring knowledge require energy, the vital energy or life energy is also produced by egoism in the mode of passion. We can therefore actually see that those who are very passionate can improve in material acquisition very quickly. It is recommended in the Vedic scriptures that if one wants to encourage a person in acquiring material possessions, one should also encourage him in sex life. We naturally find that those who are addicted to sex life are also materially advanced because sex life or passionate life is the impetus for material advancement of civilization. For those who want to make spiritual advancement, there is almost no existence of mode of passion. Only the mode of goodness is prominent. We find that those who engage in Krishna consciousness are materially poor, but one who has eyes can see What is the greater? Although he appears to be materially poor, a person in Krishna consciousness is not actually a poor man. But the person who has no taste for Krishna consciousness and appears to be very happy with material possessions is actually poor. Persons infatuated by material consciousness are very intelligent in discovering things for material comforts, but they have no access to understanding the spirit soul and spiritual life. Therefore, if anyone wants to advance in spiritual life, he has to come back to the platform of purified desire, the purified desire for devotional service. As stated in Narad Pancharatra, engagement in the service of the Lord when the senses are purified and Krishna consciousness is called pure devotion. Hare Krishna. 'I neither have any qualification nor do I have any realization. I seek everyone's blessings. 27th verse says, from false ego of goodness, when ahankar mixes with goodness, then mind comes. The nature of the mind means thoughts and reflections. We always think. And he did this, she did this. I got this happiness, I'll do this. So where are our desires originating? From mind. So mind, ahankar, false ego, when it is mixing with the mode of goodness, mind is coming out. Please listen very carefully. Chandramouli Maharaj said this is a very technical chapter. I did not have actually good time to even.
They are not able to hear, Prabhuji.
Who is not able to hear?
On Zoom. You need to change the speaker setting from here.
I can hear those.
Actually, I can hear very clearly, Prabhuji, on Zoom.
Can you hear on Zoom?
Yes, Prabhuji, no
Prabhuji.
problem.
I can also hear very clearly, Prabhuji. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, it is very clear.
So, similarly, mind, false ego mixing with mode of passion, intelligence is coming out. And also, and what is the duty of intelligence? Doubt, misapprehension, correct apprehension, memory and sleep. So these are the qualities of intelligence. And also, egoism, ahankar, egoism and mode of passion, it not only generates intelligence, it generates our five senses. What are the five senses? Eyes, nose, tongue, ear, and touch. These are five knowledge acquiring senses. What are the five working senses? Hands, legs, genital, anus, and mouth. So, honestly speaking, all the psychiatrists and psychologists, they should read this and apply. Our mind is actually goodness. But because impelled by ego, the pure soul starts identifying with the temporary body. I am this body. Then what happens? What happens? This mind also changes to passion. By nature, mind is mode of goodness. It's good gentleman. Who has spoiled the mind? We. I don't know whether I should give this example or not. Should I give this example?
Yes.
Haribol.
So one day one gentleman came to me. They are not in his school. So he was explaining his problems. And one problem was his wife was addicted to drinking alcohol. I said, how can you do this? How is that possible? He said, I am the culprit. So we were classmates. And I would drink and she would sit down. So then I said, in order to, so no, I didn't feel good. So we should do together. But eventually he gave it up, but she became addicted. She became an addict. I said, you have ruined her. Now you are suffering. Why I'm giving this example is, how many of you agree our mind gives a lot of trouble? Who is the reason? Everyone put your hand on your chest, myself. So now we have to undo it. So we have 5 senses, knowledge acquiring senses, 5 and working senses. They're also passionate. Intelligence is also passionate. Mind says, you're all passionate, why not me? I'll also become passionate. And suddenly you come to Krishna consciousness. What is Kali Yuga? Senses are passionate, means we want enjoyment. Intelligence, mind actually, gentlemen, but you ruined it. So mind became passionate. Intelligence by default is passionate, wanting sense enjoyment. Then you go to college. Professor is passionate. You come home, parents are passionate. You're listening or not? So everyone is telling, professor is telling, you make money, you'll be really happy. But he thinks, I am miserable. But they're paying me money. So if you make money, if you work very hard and you get married, you'll be really happy. Prabhupada says in somewhere, I don't remember, in Bhagavatam, after enjoying 20-30 years in family life, father is miserable. But he's pushing his son into that. That is Maya. Father is very unhappy in family life. Father, mother, once son comes and says, I want to join full time. Hey, definitely not. Once you get married, you'll be settled. In not just Indians, Americans, anywhere, they think once you get married, you'll be settled. Even if there are 101 problems going through, but still not. Why? Father senses are passionate, father mind is passionate, father intelligence is passionate. And because impelled by Maya, we think we are very happy. So this much happiness, this much suffering. I think that is life. What is life? This much happiness, this much suffering. That's it. You cannot get out of it. But suddenly you come to Sunday, you go to temples also. They also tell that. You ask God, give me this, give me that, he'll give you, put $5 in the hundi and you'll be happy. You'll get green card, everything. Only one person, Srila Prabhupada, or only one book, Srimad Bhagavatam is telling, hey, it's wrong. Wake up to the reality. Do you want this much happiness and this much suffering? Or you want this much happiness and this much suffering or no suffering? You say, no, I don't believe you. Throughout whatever I studied in my university, my parents are telling, my university told me, everyone is telling, so I will not believe you. I will not. I just heard one thing, how how our habits are formed and we believe it. You want to hear?
Yes.
Prabhupada said this. There used to be a comedian by name Linton in UK. So I think Prabhupada watched that movie, and Prabhupada says that. This guy goes and sits in the park. This guy goes and sits in the park. Some naughty children, what they do is he was going for a ballroom dance. Some children, what they did, they nailed, his, his coat, right? They nailed, they nailed his coat into the bench. Not knowing this, he gets up. What happened? It's like ripped off. He didn't realize that. So this is like London, Like you go to dance means you need to have a very, what do you call it, two-piece suit? I don't know what it is, but three-piece suit. So you go and they're all, so now the dance starts. This guy, this is ripped off. And everyone is looking at him. And why everyone is looking at him? So he says, no, the music, excuse me, goes inside. And bathroom, then he says, yeah, it's ripped off. But he's very intelligent. What he will do? He'll rip it more off, He'll make that big. Then he comes and joins, starts dancing aggressively. And when he's dancing, this whatever is ripped off, it's what is that? Recent fashion, man. This is a recent fashion, really. And everyone goes to the bathroom. They rip off their, pants and coats. And they start dancing. That's how fashions are formed. Can you imagine somebody, I see people wearing, in the airports, ripped off jeans. Huh? In the winter also. I went to Mayapur, such a beautiful environment. Ganga is flowing, literally it's not even transcendental. That serene environment, people are going on the boat, these poor villagers. There I see an advertisement. A boy and girl standing with all the ripped off jeans. And a boy has, what is that? The ripped off jeans. And I'm looking at the picture and one beggar was sitting on the ground under the same advertisement with the torn clothes. So I'm looking, So that advertisement, this advertisement. Somehow good. So the point is, universities are telling, everyone is telling, this is life. I think this life, maybe I should suffer to enjoy. So what do we have to do? Bhagavatam says, mind, if you want to purify your mind, okay, what now mind is passionate, mind says, I want to enjoy that. Intelligence says, yes, sir. I want that job. I always give this example. Yes. So intelligence says, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Change the resume. Python, how many years experience? I have 8 years. You don't even have 8 days experience. So whatever they tell you to do, because you want that enjoyment, mind is telling intelligence. Our intelligence has become a slave to the mind. Just to satisfy things. And we think that is life. And So everyone is telling eating, mating, sex life, and defending. That's what we want. The government is telling you pay tax, you keep on earning money, you pay tax, and you be happy, we are happy, everyone is happy. But earth is suffering, we don't care. But I'm also suffering. No, don't worry, we provide nice hospitals. So it's all actually, ignorance, tamogun. If you're suffering, we'll provide hospitals. Everything we do, but keep on enjoying senses. What is sensual enjoyment? This much happiness, this much suffering. What is the solution? Bring mind to goodness and sharpen your intelligence and tell the intelligence, hey, you're actually your police. You don't need to listen to the mind. Separate them. I'm honest with you. One day, one gentleman told me, I want to come to America from IIT. He's like MIT. So why not? Send me your resume. I forwarded. First time it happened in my life. I told this before, I'm repeating it. I forwarded this resume to some people I know, they're very big. So one gentleman said, even if he's from IIT, with this resume, he'll never get the job. Tell him to change it and send it. We'll get the job for him. See, I'm so much tuned to the environment. You can't believe I'm a monk. I told him, Prabhu, you will not get the job. If you really want to come to America, even though you're from IIT, you have to change the resume and send it. One person slapped me on my face first time. Even if I don't get a job, I have no problem. I will not change. This is truth. He has not come to America till this day. I learned. Wow. When outsiders, they have every reason to lie. Not for me. I learned from him that day. I should be honest. This happened so many years ago. That is a change. I changed actually. Oh, you are amazing. He's a gross. I said, I don't need to come to America. If I have to change, it means if I have to lie. Amazing. One day I went to Govardhan Parikrama. So, we want to do some worship. So I was going with a devotee. To offer these items, I need tulsi. We were going, actually, we were looking for tulsi plant, As we hired a rickshaw, we sat on the rickshaw, we were going. So from the road, I saw in a home, just roadside, I can see tulsi. I told the rickshawala, stop. 2 minutes. I told this devotee, can you go and get the tulsi? He said, yes. He went inside. What is there in my mind? I can see tulsi. But by the time I said, this rickshaw went a little forward. So I cannot see. I said, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. This rickshaw is telling, I want to go, you're making me wait. So we are filled with so many items. My fear, what if I get down, Why is not coming? I saw tulsi. Exactly less than 10 seconds, you can bring it in. He came back after 10 minutes. I was upset. Prabhu, what? You purchased tulsi seeds and you are generating a plant or what? I was upset. I told this. Why did you, this guy wants to leave. Can you see the way I speak? Rajogun. First time I realized it. He said, Prabhuji, nobody is there in the home. So what happened? He went inside. He wanted to take permission from them to take one tulsi leaf. That is the second slap of my life. Because I have this nature of like a monk, everyone respects. Okay, what is the Tulsi? No, this plant belongs to somebody else. Let me, even if it is just a plant, even if it is one leaf, I need to take permission. I taught my anger or whatever. I was not so angry, of course. My adrenaline rush. Oh, hey, you're a great soul. Amazing. So the Krishna consciousness is not what you do on large scales. Krishna consciousness is a Samsiddhar Haritoshanam. That's the last line of the Prabhupada says. Sarvopadi vinamuktam tapparatena nirmalam rishikesha rishikesh sevam rishikesh sevanam bhakti ruchyate. You know, bhakti means serving Krishna senses with your senses. Hare Krishna. You know. So when you serve Krishna senses with your senses, what happens? One, you become free from illusion. You become free from illusion. Two, your senses are purified. You're not so much agitated for food. You're not so much agitated for useless sense enjoyment. You want to enjoy the life of truth. You want to enjoy the life of service. You want to enjoy the life of gratitude. I went to India recently. I'm just giving an example based on what I said. If I sit back, I have to see everyone's TV, which I don't want to. You know, because as soon as you get into the flight, they put all the junk movies only, nothing but illicit sex and fighting. So what I had started doing, I would buy the front seats so that I don't need to see anybody's TV. So then I went to sit down. This side is one Mataji, this side one Mataji. Because I think, ladies, they prefer that seats. Because they have children, they put. This has been happening. So I had to choose. You want to see everyone's movie or you want to sit next to ladies? No, this has been happening probably 4 or 5 times. Then always I pray, my Lord, at least one side should be free. No other side you cannot have. But anyway, I went and sat down. I was very uncomfortable. Because local flights also it happens, it's only an hour. And I sleep, I get up, Detroit comes. It's just like a very long flight. Then that lady, she started talking actually. Not definitely young, much younger than me. I was very uncomfortable. Then she made one statement that touched my heart. Whenever I travel in the flights, we landed. I'm so worried and scared. I prayed. When I prayed, when you sat next to me, I understood my prayers are answered. One monk came and sat next to me. I have no problem. I am miserable, but she's very comfortable. And I told myself, even if you're miserable, somebody is very happy for you. I think that's fine. If my misery is giving somebody happiness or comfort, that is fine. Why I'm telling this is, okay, I want to chai chant 16 rounds, I want to go back to Godhead. That is fine. And you perform bhakti, definitely you will come to, eventually your mind will come to goodness. And your intelligence is sharpened. You will make right decisions. But the real compassion means others. When you think of others, when you think of yourself, You try to create a comfortable environment, that is passion. That eventually will bring you suffering. But when you're trying to bring mind to goodness by doing the bhakti process, and by trying to make Krishna happy. So Prabhupada is mentioning all these outside materialistic people, especially America is a land of opportunity. There's so much competition. I should be 10 million, I should be a millionaire. Millionaire wants to be, what is that? Wants to increase his millions, 10 millions, 20 millions. A millionaire of having 20, they want to make it 40, people having 40. Such a good. But they're not happy. Last week we celebrated Nursing Day, they have not given class. Simple thing. Sayitah nirchita kakub ekarat vishyan priyan yatopadosham bunjano natriptya ajitendriya. Hiranyakasipu conquered the whole universe. Brahma came and sprinkled water on his body, which became an iron body, free from old age, disease, and death. Free from old age and disease. Because of the boons he asked, visibly death is not coming. And he was so cruel, everyone had to worship. Narada Muni says that except Lord Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, we all have to worship Hiranyakasipu only. How many of you think Hiranyakasipu was happy? Immediately everyone will say Hiranyakasipu is unhappy. You have to think twice before you say this. Hiranyakasipu, there is no old age problem, there is no digestion problem, there is no visibly death problem. And Hiranyakasipu, he shifted his residence to heavenly planets where you drink and enjoy sex life. And everyone is worshipping him. How many of you think Hiranyakasipu is happy? How many of you say he's happy? Let us be honest. He's happy. Huh? Not born. He was not born yet. So he was very happy, right? Thank you. How many of you think Hiranyakasipu was unhappy? Raise your hand. If you think he's unhappy, you have to change your nature. Because that's what everyone is looking for. If Hiranyakasipu is unhappy, means Elon Musk with $180 billion is miserable. Jeff Bezos with $150 billion is miserable. And all the professors and head of the institutions, that universities, they're miserable. Or the CEO of your company is miserable. If you think he's unhappy with all the things he has achieved, your CEO in your company is miserable. Your manager is miserable. I'm honest with you. You have to believe that.
It is true.
Okay. But you should not work for that then. That is the point I'm making. So he is miserable, let me work for it, means that is wrong. Huh? Bhagavatam says, why is miserable? Natruptiya, ajitendriya. Instead of controlling the mind and senses, he tried to gratify his mind and senses. That's why he was miserable. In other words, Bhagavatam is telling, if you keep on trying to enjoy your senses and mind, they will, what is that? They will be left uncontrolled to such a proportion, they'll give you so much trouble. You have conquered this universe, you conquer one more universe. There is that universe you have not conquered. This universe you have not conquered. Maybe they are planning a rebellion on me. Always doubt, apprehension. You will never be happy. Real happiness comes from controlling the mind and senses. That's why people who are passionate, they try to improve their lifestyle. They try to make their life comfortable. What is the end result? Miserable. Devotees, for their goal is to make Krishna happy. They make their life simple. End result? Happy. How many of you understood? It's a paradox. You're trying to make your life comfortable and you're miserable. Here you're trying to make Krishna's life comfortable, you're blissful. Because when you serve Krishna, your senses are purified and your senses are purified and your illusion is removed. One day I gave Shyam Kishore Prabhu $100. I gave $100 and a year later he came and said, I don't need this $100. And he gave that $100 back. I cannot control him because he doesn't need anything. If somebody wants green card, I can control them. He doesn't need anything. Actually, Bhagavatam is such a great thing. Here, what is that? Prahlad Maharaj, what is that? Hiranyakashipu had everything, miserable. Prahlad Maharaj had nothing, happy, blissful. Amazing. So, if you really want to make your life blissful, become a devotee. But to the extent you have faith on Bhagavatam, that much extent you make progress in bhakti. To the extent you don't have faith in Bhagavatam, that much extent you work very hard. Practically everyone works in the community. Why? What if this happens? Fear. It means I don't have faith on Krishna. I don't have faith on Krishna. That's why for all of us, bhakti, Krishna consciousness is a spare tire, spare wheel. Krishna consciousness is not a steering wheel. One person called me and said, I don't have a job. I look, you worked in America for so long, you must have saved a lot. We are doing full-time past this many years. But of course, we are monks, but you're married, so you have to be very careful. I told him, but I'm telling, have faith on Krishna. Krishna will take care of everyone. Krishna will take care of everyone. Krishna takes care of elephant who eats every day 100 kgs. Every day 100, 200 pounds. You don't see any hunger deaths. But problem is we are used to a particular lifestyle. We cannot come out of it. So my point is, rather than, Srila Prabhupada, actually I was thinking about Prabhupada. Prabhupada had 2 heart attacks, seasickness, 2 heart attacks. If third one comes, he would die. He came to Boston. I have a question for all of you. You had 2 heart attacks. You come to Boston, what you will do? Is there any hospital nearby? I'm okay, but 7 days ago I had 2 heart attacks. Actually, today morning, one devotee called me. My mother had a heart attack and they said 3 weeks to do bypass. They gave the date, but she passed away today. So he left for India. Nowadays medicine is so, what is that, very powerful. But you don't see in Leelamrita Prabhupada, is there any hospital? Is there an Indian doctor nearby? I'm a monk, Can you find? No. Fully dependent on Krishna. Wow. Amazing, right? What a personality. And what was his concern? Prabhupada did not come to a remote village like Farmington Hills, where Americans would lead a very simple, peaceful life. America in 1970 was a very spiritual country. But even New York also, it was very degraded at that time. Prabhupada decided to stay in New York. Why? He wanted, he wanted them to be lifted. He wanted the degraded people to take up Krishna consciousness and go back to Godhead. Wow. Passion. Means his mind is not passionate. His mind is a transcendental. When he was thinking of others, but he's not thinking of making their life better by creating jobs. He wanted to bring them to Krishna consciousness. He gave them prasad, no doubt. We should do that. We should do that. Then Krishna will act in different, so many ways, which you cannot imagine. Krishna will use you. When you have that strong desire, I don't worry about myself. I don't care about comforting myself, but I care about bringing others to Krishna consciousness and make them comfortable in Krishna consciousness, because that is true and real. Rest all, focus. One girl came and started crying. So what happened? I did the interview very well. I didn't get in some Amazon, but my friend got it. So what is her opinion? My friend, with all this money, she is so happy now. She'll enjoy like anything. I will not get that enjoyment. Illusion. I told her, forget about this girl who is going to enjoy. Recently, Jeff Bezos, right? He was divorced from his wife. The CEO of Amazon is not happy. He's miserable. And you're thinking this girl who is getting just one of the employees, she'll be so happy. Her face lit up. Really. So with the job, she's not happy. She won't be happy. The CEO of Amazon is not happy. Happiness is in Krishna consciousness. Take up Krishna consciousness. So the point is, human life is meant, we should utilize human life to, what's that? Prabhupada is telling, what is that? One more thing. If it is recommended in the Vedic scriptures, if one wants to encourage a person in acquiring material possessions, one should also encourage him in spiritual life, or you are encouraging him in spiritual sex life. We naturally find that those who are addicted to sex life are also mentally advanced, because sex life or passionate life is the impetus for mental advancement of civilization. For those who want to make spiritual advancement, there is almost no existence of mode of passion. Only the mode of goodness is prominent. But people can responsibly enjoy this with Krishna in the center. But if you try to make others Krishna conscious, if you try to make others bring their mind in goodness, make others bring their intelligence to goodness, where they make right decisions, where they keep their mind and intelligence at check, no matter what happens in their lives, they will become sober. Because you're doing it, you will become sober. Krishna will make you sober. Why are we going for book distribution every Saturday? Prabhupada said, if anybody touches my books, they'll open Bhakti account. One day they'll go back to God. If you think about others' problems, your problems will go down. That's important. Otherwise, as long as we don't think like this will become a private family business. Always 10 people, 5 people. But when we think of others, when we want to make their lives better and better and better, Krishna will be very happy with us. That's the saintly personality. That's what I want to speak today. Excuse me if I've spoken anything wrong. You want to have any question or comment? Anyone has any question or comment? Otherwise, we'll end it. Yes, sir.
As you said,
Louder.
as you said, my misery can become happiness or for other people, then it's okay. In that case, if we become too much goodness, then people can take advantage of that, right? What to do in that case? We cannot be always in goodness, right?
So everyone heard the question. Prabhu is asking, my unhappiness is giving somebody else happiness. I should be fine. So then what happens? What if people will exploit? Prabhuji, let me tell you, nobody can exploit you more than your mind and senses can. It's all in the mind. But of course, Krishna has given you intelligence. So you draw lines. How much you want to do, you do it. If you cannot do it, you cannot do it. This is America. So do as much as you can.
Not only in India also, right? Neighbor takes advantage.
And that's what I'm telling you. So draw lines. There is a saying in America, nice fences make nice neighbors. Right? So draw lines. So will you come for book distribution? I can come for 1 hour. Okay, fine. Nobody will exploit you, Prabhu. World has changed a lot. One Mataji told me, I could not tell them wrong. I don't want to offend them, but they made me work for 16 hours in the temple. I said, that's wrong. Not a temple. There was no temple that time. And I told her, you can humbly say no to them. That's not offense. Offense means there should be envy. So, you can convey a nice message to anybody. First of all, have fences. You don't cross. You don't let others cross. And do as much as you can. Krishna is very pleased with you. Nobody can exploit you. More than your mind and senses. That's actually all mind and senses game. They're exploiting. No, nobody can exploit you. You want to do it, you do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. Say you cannot do it. Right? But draw lines. You don't need to tell the whole world I'm a devotee. I know devotees are soft. I've seen that. But you can humbly tell. Prabhuji, I can do service this much. I have to go. Nobody will hold you. If you know Shastra, as long as, if you think saying no is offense, it's not offense. Like you can humbly say no. You're understanding? Does it answer your question? But for that to happen, you need to have confidence. One day, one lady came and said, a real story. My nurse exploits me. Because I'm a doctor, she cannot take that. She's only a nurse. I'm an immigrant and she is local. I said, you should have full confidence that what you're doing as a doctor, is right. Then nobody can exploit, nobody can check you. Because we have this fear. Same thing within our software also. Work 2 more hours. What if I say no? They will remove the job. The boss is also like that. The boss is Indian, but the scarcity mentality. One day what he told me, hey, look, after 5 o'clock, I will not work. The boss said, you have to work. He told me really. He told HR, I cannot. HR told the boss, hey, this guy is a performer. We need him. Probably there is no substitute for quality in this world. I'm honest with you. If you are able to, you're confident of delivering quality output, nobody will remove you. I'm honest. I don't know whether it answered your question or not.
Thank you.
I told the same answer to the doctor actually. You are so much worried about you losing job actually. That's why your nurse is controlling you. Nurse can never control the doctor actually. So be confident that what you're doing work as a doctor is right. When then complain to the higher authorities, I cannot work with her. Either they will remove her or they'll change you to the different department. But be confident what you're doing is right. Because you're scared, then she say the lower people can detect that. And I don't know whether I'm conveying a message or not. Because it happens in offices actually. Any other question or comment? Online, anyone wants to add anything? Any question or comment?
Only
So-
one quick thing.
Ah,
So only in book distribution and go for book distribution, then and if you want to reach as many people as possible, then that time you just have to, decide in like 15-20 seconds whether they're going to buy the book or not. If they're going to buy the book, you spend time, otherwise don't spend time. So then it may come across as, we're just kind of interested in like, are you interested? Then I'm not. So you're not like just kind of just interested in their problems and things, but you just want to sell the book. So
it is Krishna's time, Prabhu. It's not your time. Your Guru's time. So we have to be diligent. But of course, they are becoming devotees. You can sit with them for an hour.
if they will.
If you have got an impression, they'll become devotees, you sit with them an hour. Honestly speaking, goal of book distribution is not money. Because we don't make enough money to get the gas money also. Whatever gas we are putting, we don't get that. Our goal of life is to create the credits for the people we are going to meet. Just by touching the book. Nectar devotion says, anybody sees you with the tilak on your face, they'll make progress. So, but of course, we don't need to sit and hang on and talk the local politics though. No, it's useless. In 15-20 seconds, you can decide. But if favorable, you can spend a little more time.
Yes, understood.
Anyone wants to add anything? Otherwise, we'll end it. Ajay, you want to say something? Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, we are going for book distribution. We will start at 11 o'clock. 10:30, everyone comes. We should do this actually. It's very important. We are not here for numbers. I want to tell some stories on that. Maybe at least, one story I told many times. If you do your work, can I tell this one story and finish it?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
If you do your job, Krishna will do his job. I heard this, I was so impressed. One day, one person went to a shopping mall, one devotee to do for book distribution. Immediately, the local security, they started chasing him. They want to catch him, and because you cannot do this here. In America, you cannot do this. But of course, this is Europe. What he did with the books bag, he doesn't want them to catch him. So he started running. To escape him, suddenly the door was open, he entered with all these books. Because these books were very heavy and the security was chasing him. So the door directly took him onto the dais. He didn't realize. When he got into the dais, when he came onto the dais, the stage, and there comes our person that might announced. Yes. So we are all waiting for the gifts. This here comes the person with gifts. Everybody got up and clapped. And the guy said, why here? We are waiting for you. Why is there late? So he brought us all the gifts. So he himself will distribute the gifts to everyone. It's like this hall was full, around 800,000 people. And so all the winners come. So this person on the stage started reading. Because you brought the gifts, you only distribute. So this guy is giving 1, 2. Now he cannot run away because outside security was there. I have a question for all of you. What is there in the mind of a book distributor? And here I am giving these books without money, But anyway, that's a conditioning, right? But anyway, they are taking books. But he's a book distributor, you all know. If you're a book distributor, you will take the money anyway. So he's calling the names, he started giving 1, 2, 3. The entire, whatever the books he gave, he brought, he distributed it. Some more books were there. And the organizer said, we'll take those books, those gifts also. He took them. And so he said, he called some more names. To encourage the participants, we want to give these books also. This bag was khali, empty. And thank you very much. And immediately took a check of 500 euros and gave it. Wow. These books are not worth 500 euros. Thank you very much. So everyone got up and clapped for him. Now our Santa Claus came in and brought all the gifts. And he said, thank you very much. As soon as he saw the check, now he's happy. And he told them, thank you very much. And he walked out. As soon as he came out, security guys were there. Now, I don't have anything, my bag is empty. They told him, you should not come here. Next time you come here, we'll catch you. So look, I don't have any books. Okay, by the way, what is this event that is going on? European Butchers Conference. See, because he did service, Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya made him distribute books to butchers. And they give money also. So never underestimate the power of Lord Chaitanya, actually, the grace of Lord Chaitanya. A real story. And a person who told the story is actually no more now. Passed away. Very powerful preacher in London. So, if we have doubts, then only doubt is the nature of the intelligence. If the intelligence aside, jump in. No, I will do something for Krishna's pleasure today. Krishna will take care. Then you will make progress. If you think you are the doer, maybe we'll distribute 1 or 2. If you think Krishna is the doer, you should pray, my Lord, please use me as your instrument. How many have liked the story? Shrutidharma Prabhu, temple president in London, he passed away last year. Cancer, brain cancer. He said this.
Srimati Chandramuli.
So, Narsimha Prasad Prabhu. Grandharasham